Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about date tables in Power BI, which is a important topic, and it's one of those ones where I think everyone knows just a little bit about them, but we all could learn a little bit more, or at least I did in researching this video. So let's talk about date tables. A date table, which is often sometimes called a calendar table, is essentially a table that contains a continuous range of dates that you have in your Power BI data model. You typically have the actual date, and then you have things like helper columns, so things like fiscal year, fiscal quarter, month spelled out, that kind of thing. What you use these columns for is to perform detailed analysis in Power BI. They also allow you to use some very special Power BI features, things that let you do time-based analysis as well as time-based business intelligence. So, why should you use a date table? Great question. Let's cover a few reasons why. The first is consistency. You can ensure that any kind of date-based calculation is going to be using the same amount of days over each other. So like if you think about, like, let's just say a sales order table, maybe you don't have an order for every single day. And so if you were trying to take an average number of orders across a certain time period, if you didn't have a date table with a row for every single date, your average might come out wrong. Another reason is time intelligence. So DAX has these really super special functions that are things like total year to date or same period last year that you can only use if you have a date table because, well, frankly, they use a date table to function. The third is flexibility, which is it allows you to very quickly and easily group by date parents. So, for example, fiscal year, quarter, maybe even a fiscal week if your company goes that way. And finally, performance. Using a date table allows you to do modeling, in particular Star Schema modeling, which Power BI typically almost always loves and performs better on. So, have I sold you on date tables yet? Well, if I have, let's jump into Power BI and let's talk about how you make a date table. Okay, the first way that you can make a date table is just by having a date in your report. So if you have a date, unless you specifically go into the Power BI settings and turn this off, every single time there's a date, Power BI will automatically create a date table. And the date tables that Power BI is creating is hidden, but if you go into, for example, a tool like DAX Studio, you can actually go ahead and you can see those hidden tables. So here, for example, is the hidden date table that Power BI created for one local date, and here it is for the second local date. The problem with this is that Power BI, if you have a ton of dates, will create a ton of data tables, and your model will get really bloated. So what's the better practice? Well, the best practice is to actually go into your Power BI report and turn this off. So I'm going to open up this other report and show you how to turn this off. First, you're going to go into File, then you're going to go into Options and Settings, and then you're going to go into Options. Once this is open, you can turn it off globally. So every single time you create a new file right here under Global Settings, and then you can turn it off for specific files, I believe by going into Data Load here and then unchecking Auto Time Intelligence. Once you do that, Power BI will no longer create hidden date tables for you. Okay, now that Power BI is no longer creating a date table, it's on us to create our own. So there's a few different ways that you can create your own. One is you can just simply have one as a data source. So that's what's true of this data model. I brought in a date table as part of Power Query. And if we go into the data model, I'm actually joining it onto date key. The other way that you can do this is you can use Power Query, and you can actually create a date table using Power Query. You can click Transform Data, and then you can go ahead and you can create new source, and you can go blank query, and you can actually then enter into Advanced Editor, and you can copy and paste in code that will make a date table. And there's plenty of people that have done this online. If you Google search mQuery language Power BI date table, you'll probably get like a great one. So I'm not even going to bother trying to show you how to do that, because there's plenty of other people that have done this, not only on YouTube, but also just a quick Google search away. And then finally, the third way is that you can actually define a calculated table using DAX. So you can create a new table in here, and then you can create a new table by going to table view, then going into tables, then going into new table. And then you can go through and you can define a DAX calculated table. Again, there's plenty of examples on how to do this, so I'm not going to go ahead and show you how to do that. Once you have a date table, you have to tell Power BI that it is one. The reason why you want to do that is because of these super special features that you get when you're using a table as a date table. And most of those are DAX time intelligence features, where you can go in here and you can click mark as a date table, and you can choose the column that's the date. So in this case, date. You can go ahead and hit save. And just like that, it's a date table. And Power BI knows that and will treat it slightly different than your other tables. Okay, well, what if you have multiple dates? You might notice here that I have the same date table connected to multiple dates. Only one of the relationships is active, which is normal in Power BI. But you might be wondering, should I essentially use one date table with multiple relationships, or should I have multiple date tables? And the answer to that is really complex, and I think it really depends on the how you're trying to filter or dice and slice your data. If you're going to want to have a report where you have your two dates right next to each other at the same time and control them independently with like a slicer or a filter, you're probably going to want to have a table for each one of those dates. However, if you are just going to be aggregating the data up into a measure and you're just going to be using DAX the entire time, you probably want to go with this single date table approach, because you can use the DAX function, use relationship in order to activate this. So let's take a look at what that DAX function looks like. So I have three relationships here. I have a relationship between due date and date key. And then I have two inactive relationships. So I have a relationship between order date key, and then ship date key and date key. What I've gone ahead and done is I have defined a revenue measure here, which is just a sum of sales amount. And then I've defined some additional revenue numbers. So what I'm doing is I'm actually activating the deactivated or relationships in this measure. So I'm using a calculate statement and I'm saying, hey, calculate revenue. And when you do that, I want you to use the relationship between date key and sales due date key here in revenue by due date. I then have another measure where it's revenue by order date, where I'm doing the exact same thing, only I'm activating the relationship between date key and order date key. I can then copy this, right? And I can then go new measure, and I can define this one as the relationship between date key and ship date key, right? So I can go ahead, I can go ship date key right there. And I didn't update the date, so let's go through and let's order by ship date, and we'll go back over here to sales, and we'll go ship date key. What I can then do is I can have a visual here with a single date column and then all of these different revenue numbers, only they're calculating based on all of those different relationships. So this allows you to do some pretty cool things and some pretty cool visualizations. So that is my 10-minute spiel on dates and date tables and why they're important in Power BI. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It really helps to keep me motivated in making them. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about me or what I do professionally, feel free to check out my LinkedIn, which is going to be linked down in the video description. Thanks for watching.